Finally, off on time. Great job, me, I said, standing up from my desk. Working in sales overtime is not uncommon for me, but today, I was determined to leave right on time. Why? Because my favorite actor's starring drama was premiering tonight. I had to watch it live. With that thought, I left the office in high spirits. My husband should be cooking dinner, so I planned to eat and relax before the drama started. Oh, maybe I could enjoy a drink too. At home, I just want to unwind with my husband. Lounging on the sofa and watching TV is the best. I wanted to tell my overly excited self to calm down a bit. If only I could have a glimpse of the future at that moment, things might have turned out differently. My name is Alicia. I am a 27-year-old office worker. My husband Philander and I are in our first year of marriage. We are still in that sweet honeymoon phase. Philander, my college junior, has an innocent smile that I find adorable. He's a bit unreliable but has many friends and a cheerful personality, so being with him is always fun. That's why I married him. I'm home, I said, returning with some drinks. The smell of fried chicken wafted all the way to the entrance. Hungry, I entered the living room only to face a reality I couldn't accept. Welcome back, Philander said, smiling innocently, but that wasn't the issue. Who are you? I couldn't take my eyes off the man in the aloha shirt sitting there. I had passed a straw hat at the entrance without noticing, too excited about the drama. He nodded at me while eating fried chicken, and I instinctively nodded back. No, wait, that's not it. Who? Then Philander turns to me and says nonchalantly, my friend, we just happened to meet at the station. What? Invite a friend you just happened to meet at the station to our house out of the blue? Without even telling me? My mood takes a nosedive at this point. Philander seems to have lived alone since his student days, leading a rather carefree life. He has many friends, so he often stayed at their houses or invited them over. Even after marriage, this kind of things happens frequently. Moreover, most of these people are strangers to me. Sometimes there are even girls among them. I take Philander to another room and confront him. What's going on? You know you should tell me in advance if you're inviting someone over. But I just happened to meet them, so I couldn't tell you in advance. Then don't invite friends you just happen to meet to our house, understand? I feel like I'm lecturing a grade school child. I had a lot to talk about since I haven't seen them in a while, so I brought them here. Then go out for drinks or something. But it was my turn to make dinner. Is he serious? No. Is he really serious? Sometimes I just don't understand Philander's way of thinking. You could say he's earnest or inflexible, something like that. As this is going on, it's almost time for our favorite TV show. I sigh and decide to retreat to my room. Give me some dinner. With that, Philander scratches his head and says, I ate it all. I couldn't find his childlike gesture endearing, and I raised my voice without thinking. If you eat it all, it's pointless. Oh, I'm hungry. This happens at least once a month. I'm getting tired of getting angry every time. Did we rush into marriage? The next day, Philander comes home and we talk. I tell him I don't want strangers in our house, that I have said it many times, and if it continues, I'll consider divorce. Divorce? Philander is visibly shaken. It's only natural. I've told you many times. Also, please put in this month's living expenses soon. And you often invite friends but don't charge them for food, right? You should cover that cost, Philander. I'll cook, but I won't clean up. Don't make me say the same thing over and over. Then Philander nods sullenly. Will he understand now? Surely peaceful times will come now. A month later, when I come home from work and enter the entrance, I see unfamiliar bags and hats. No way. I rush to open the living room door and there are strangers again. Welcome back. Philander greets me with an unapologetic smile. My anger explodes. What's going on here? Everyone is taken aback and the atmosphere becomes tense. But I don't care. I have told you to stop this. Philander and his two friends visibly flinch. As I approach Philander, his friends quickly leave. I told you last time, right? You didn't forget what I said, did you? I said if it happens again, we're getting a divorce. Philander tries to calm me down, but I can't take it anymore. Don't you understand how it feels to come home from work and finally relax? I can't relax with strangers around, can I? They might be your friends, Philander, but they're strangers to me. I don't even know them. Why don't you understand? Then Philander starts making excuses. But Alicia, I thought it would be fun to have a lively house, and since I was on dinner duty, I thought it would be okay. Unable to control my anger, I smile. Understood. With that, I retreat to my room. The next day, I leave for work and head to the government office. Naturally, I'm going to get divorce papers. I fill in my name on the spot and head home. I wake up the sleeping Philander and thrust the divorce papers at him. What? What's this? Divorce papers? Huh? Philander is in a panic, but I have no sympathy left for him. I'm calling the movers to take my stuff. With that, I contact the moving company I booked yesterday, and they're ready to come right away. Wait a minute, what's going on? What's happening? Not understanding the situation, Philander continues to panic. I tell him, let's get a divorce. Despite saying that, he keeps asking why and how, and I couldn't take it anymore. I told you if it happened again, we would get a divorce. I have expressed my feelings, haven't I? How many times do I have to say it? I can't go on with you. Let's get a divorce. After saying it once more, Philander finally seems to understand and his face turns pale. He apologizes repeatedly, trying to gain forgiveness. I'm sorry, really sorry. Please reconsider. How can I live without Alicia? As this is going on, the movers arrive. I brush off Philander and welcome the movers with a smile. Furniture, appliances, my belongings. Philander watches in shock as they're carried out one by one. All of them were bought with my savings from when I was single. Some were even things I used when I lived alone. Speaking of which, there's also the expensive table and sofa that he said he would pick out for me because my room wasn't stylish before we got married. But since I bought them with my money, I'll take them. The movers are efficient and the room is quickly cleared. Hey, Alicia, wait! How am I supposed to live? I was a fool to think his helplessness was part of his charm. I feel so pathetic I could cry. I bring over 2 large cardboard boxes. These are the things you used before we got married. You'll be fine with these. I don't need them, so I'm giving them back. Inside are a small rice cooker, frying pan, and pots. Also, I have decided to cancel the lease at the end of the month, so you better leave soon. Philander clings to me as I speak calmly, but I am too angry to bear it any longer. That's how important this space was to me. Why didn't he understand? A promise is a promise. Write this quickly. I forcibly hand a pen to Philander, who is still reluctant to fill out the divorce papers. I told you clearly, if it happened again, we would divorce. It's no joke. I have told you to stop so many times. Besides, this condominium is in my name. You moved into the place where I lived when I was single, Philander. Yet, why do you keep doing whatever you want? Finally realizing I was serious, Philander reluctantly began to fill out the divorce papers. You said you would work hard to get promoted quickly when we got married, but in the end, it seems like people at work say you can't do your job. Thanks to that, you have a low salary. No prospects for promotion. You don't even contribute to living expenses. I should have chosen a more reliable man. As I sighed, Philander looked frustrated. I never thought we would divorce over something so trivial. It was a short marriage. I can't live with someone who can't think of others. I snatched the divorce papers and left the house. I decided to live in the company dormitory for a while and take my time looking for a condominium. At least for now, I can have my own space. But that peaceful life was soon shattered. A week later, while relaxing in my dormitory, my mobile phone rang. It was Philander. I answered the phone, annoyed, and he said he wanted to talk and asked me to meet him. Honestly, I thought it was a hassle, but it would be more troublesome if he kept bothering me. I agreed and headed to the condominium we hadn't yet cancelled. When I arrived at the entrance, Philander greeted me. As I entered the living room, Philander's mother was there. Why? My eyes widened as mother-in-law suddenly started accusing me. Alicia, what's this about suddenly wanting a divorce? How is this child supposed to live on his own? Mother-in-law adored Philander and always meddled in our affairs. I told her everything. I heard from Philander. But what's wrong with that? Isn't it good to have many friends? It's fun every day. No, it's not fun. To me, they're strangers. And why is his mother showing up now? My irritation grew. It's so pitiful that Philander is being divorced over something like this. Mother-in-law looked like she was about to cry, whether genuinely or not. Oh, really? So I am not pitiful? I almost said those words, but swallowed them. It's pitiful for my son to be divorced. I should have married him to a younger girl. I reached my limit at that point. After all, she's a stranger to me now. I don't need to hold back. Yes, marrying a younger girl and getting financial help from parents to support the marriage would be something new. Or maybe you're looking for a high-earning young girl. Living in a cheap apartment with low salaries might work too. It fits your lifestyle. When I said that, both mother-in-law and Philander stared at me shocked. From the beginning, Philander wanted to live in a nice condominium, wanted stylish furnitures, and had desires he couldn't fulfill with his earnings. So I contributed more to living expenses. I thought it was okay since we were married, but inviting various friends into our space without any consultation is beyond common sense, don't you think? I glared and mother-in-law looked away. Having many friends and having fun? Do you really think so? If you do, shall I bring my friends to your house and suddenly drop in? I'll visit suddenly when you're relaxing, mother-in-law. Mother-in-law shook her head, trembling. Then you understand how I feel, right? You can't say such things because it's not your business. I turned to Philander. And Philander, remember when you said you didn't want me to invite my friends over because you didn't know them? You didn't come home all day that time, did you? I've always felt that way. Why don't you understand? I clearly remembered something I had almost forgotten. Philander looked guilty. So why did you bring mother-in-law here? Did you think you could persuade me and live a wealthy life again? Finally, Philander spoke. But we said we'd be together forever when we got married. Wasn't it fun being with me? Is he a child? I was shocked and appalled by his unexpected words. You can't live a married life based on whether it's fun or not, right? I felt a strange calmness, having moved beyond anger. I sighed heavily. Being with Philander was fun, but there were times when it felt like dealing with a child. I'm not your mother, you know. Grow up a little. Let's be together forever isn't a child's promise. We both have to work hard to live together. That's why I divorced you. Philander had nothing to say. Also, I would like you to pay back some of the living expenses you didn't contribute. As I said this, exasperated mother-in-law looked at Philander. You were supposed to put in living expenses, but you said you spent it on fun lately and didn't put it in. Roughly calculated, it's a total of $200,000. A grown man who works and can't even put in that much is pathetic, isn't it? Suddenly, mother-in-law became hysterical. Philander, you're a good-for-nothing who can't even pay living expenses, just like your father. I remembered Philander telling me that his father earned little and his mother had always worked. Is it genetic? Is it really genetic? Pay that money back promptly. Come back home for now. Suddenly, mother-in-law switched from Philander's side to mine. Well, that's how it is, so don't contact me anymore. There was nothing left to say. I looked around the room, almost empty of belongings, and sighed again. Goodbye. It was completely over for me. As I left the room without looking back, I heard Philander's voice from behind. Sorry. Thank you for everything. I felt refreshed as I left the familiar condominium. I failed in marriage, but now I can move forward. Later, Philander transferred the $200,000 he hadn't put in for living expenses. Apparently, mother-in-law is passionate about re-educating him, and he has changed jobs to a company near his parents' home, living under mother-in-law's financial management. I feel so relieved. Now, let's work hard today.